Whenever someone comes into a load of cash, one of the purchases that crosses their mind is a secluded private island. After all, who hasn't thought of running away to one? Yet one of the biggest considerations to buying an island is the price. Is there a difference between spending $1 million or $1 billion when it comes to an isolated island? Obviously, there's a difference. Well, that's what we're going to explore today. We've selected a number of islands that are currently for sale in those two price ranges. We'll then examine what the island has to offer and see if they're a good value for money. We kick off our $1 million club with a piece of U.S. history. Located within Rouse's Point, New York, lies Fort Montgomery Island. Surrounded by Lake Champlain, this island comes with its own military fort that was built during the 1800s. Today, all that remains of the fort is a decayed structure. But with some true love, it could be used as a tourist attraction. The island comes with 8 acres of land and another 86 acres that's underwater. The owners have attempted to sell the island since the 1980s. Back in 2006, they placed it on eBay for $9 million, yet no buyers. In 2009, they reduced the price to $3 million, still no takers. The current listing states that a developer could get at least $15 million if they decided to create housing there. However, preservation groups won't be too happy if the fort's remains are removed in such a way. At the moment, the island's asking price is $995,000. Such a deal! When most people think of a private island, it's often sitting inside the Caribbean. Well, for those with $1 billion to spend, we have Blue Island in the Bahamas. Situated within Exuma Cays, the island is massive with 700 acres altogether. That's around 200 acres bigger than the city-state of Monaco. But much of the Blue Island is covered with tropical greenery. It even has 3 miles of coastline and sandy beaches, which might be tempting for developers as there's plenty of places to create waterfront properties. Yet the biggest selling point is the 5,700-foot-long airstrip, making the journey to Blue Island pretty straightforward. But for those that prefer traveling via boat, there's also a dock available. On top of that, there's a main property and a staff house on the island that has 12 bedrooms between them. There's also 4 miles of road throughout the island and access to fresh water, communications, and electricity. Electricity is good. At the moment, this piece of paradise is available for $75 million. Have you ever wanted to own an island resort but thought it would be way too expensive? Well, we might have something for you. Within the South Pacific Ocean is the Tongan island of Vatuvara. Known as the Royal Sunset Island Resort, the 9-acre peninsula is covered with tropical gardens. The land hosts 23 waterfront vales. Also included in the resort is a Polynesian-style restaurant, a bar and deck, a swimming pool, a space for live performances, table tennis, a pool table, tennis court, and beach volleyball facilities. The resort also offers loads of water activities such as kayaking and windsurfing, some of which are free. For guests wanting to see the local culture, Vatuvara Island is shared with a fishing village. The priciest will currently set you back around $1,400 per week. All of this can be yours for nearly $1.3 million. If you want to get one of the biggest private islands in the world, then Cerralvo Island in Mexico might just be for you. At 16 miles long, the land contains a stunning 35,000 acres. For comparison, that's the same as 10 Los Angeles International airports. Just off the coast of Baja California, Cerralvo Island is covered in mountainous ridges, some of which are 2,100 feet above sea level. The island is also known as Jacque Cousteau Island, named after the famous French oceanographer. Cerralvo Island is a hotspot for wildlife, and the surrounding waters are beloved by fishing fans. As such, Cerralvo Island could be a good location for an eco or fitness resort. If you want an island that's a complete blank slate and have a boatload of cash, this could be for you. After all, power, drinking water, sewage, and more would all need to be installed. At the moment, this massive mound of land can be yours for $20 million, making it around $571 per acre. It might not be the country that you first think of when it comes to private islands, yet Canada is filled with some of the most affordable ones. This time we go to Georgian Bay in Ontario. Positioned in the North Channel is Ireson Island Lodge. Altogether, it comes with 43 acres of land, with another 160 acres that's Crown Land Preserve. Based on the island, hence its name, is a 15,000 square foot lodge. It contains 14 cabins with accommodation for 1 to 4 people. The lodge also has a library, a dining room for 120 people, a bar, and 2 games room offices. While outside, there's a children's playhouse. For staff, there's a caretaker's apartment and rooms to house 20 members of staff across 7 buildings. For boat lovers, there's a 4-slip boathouse with lifts, 2 dry boathouses, and a bait shed. The lodge is said to contain 30 different boats, including canoes and a 26-inch antique-style launch with surrey top. All this can be yours for around $908,000. Previously, it was listed for around $1.2 million, in case you're wondering. See, you're getting a deal, sort of. What's better than a private island? How about 4 of them? Based near Fiji, the collective islands are being sold as Vatuvara private islands, one of which is the 102-acre Vatuvara Island for $7 million with its sandy beaches and tropical gardens. There's the biggest one at 3,085 acres for $25 million that has 7 volcanic summits. With 1,200 acres and a caretaker's residence, there's the Nature's Reserve at Vatuvara Island that costs $55 million. Then there's the base of the resort, the 800-acre Cebu Island for $65 million. Included in the sale is the charity, the Vatuvara Foundation. There's also a Twin Otter aircraft for $3 million, giving us a grand total of £155 million. Cebu Island currently hosts 3 luxury villas, which ranges from $5,375 to $7,250 per day. This includes activities and pampering such as massages and spa treatments. If purchasing the package, you'll also have a celebrity neighbor since Mago Island is owned by Mel Gibson, who bought it during 2005 for $15 million. If going off the grid and being self-sufficient for water and power sounds tempting, it doesn't, then there's Zopango Island in the Central American country of Nicaragua. This deal includes the main island along 2 small inlets nearby, giving the owner a total of just under 2 acres to play with. There's even a 2,153 square foot beach to enjoy. The main house, called Casa Zopango, has space for 8 adults and 2 children. It uses 12 solar panels to provide the necessary power. There's also an apartment attached for the island's caretaker. There's also a guest house that was built in 2016 called Zopango Birds Lodge. It has space for 2 people. A week at the lodge currently costs just under $2,000. There's also a mezzanine lounge, 4 docks, a boat launching ramp, and a large and small palapa on the island. Included with the properties and land are 3 boats, 2 of which are electric, the other being a 16-seat launch boat. All this is currently for sale for $1.69 million. Located just off the coast of the tourist hotspot Phuket, Thailand, and a stone's throw away from Coconut Island is our next entry in the $1 billion club, Rangyai Island. It's shaped like a whale. That alone might be enough to tempt the quirky and wealthy. After all, this island is listed for $160 million. With that, you get 110 acres of land, which is the same size as Vatican City. The majority of Rangyai's coast is layered with white sand beaches. For those wanting to see what wildlife the island offers, there's tropical forest and the crystal clear sea that surrounds the island. The island also comes with access to fresh water, an electric generator, and a mobile signal. Ooh, a mobile signal! All of which are handy if the buyer wants to dive in and create a resort. On top of that, potential guests won't have to go far for the nearest town. It's only a 10-minute trip via a boat. Final fact finish. At one time, nations used to purchase territories in other countries from each other. Back in 1898, America and Spain signed the Treaty of Paris to end their long conflict. As part of the deal, the U.S. purchased the island country of the Philippines that amounted to $20 million. Today, with inflation, that would be around $634 million. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.